I went from maybe like doing like maybe $1 million to like 2.4 million within a year. Look back, I was taking a look at the P&L and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah.
Because when I did start the business, the moving company, I didn't know jack shit. What I learned from that after I went ahead and built that business was that I would acquire a business that already has cash flow and is already profitable. I definitely don't regret it because I've learned so many lessons.
Yeah.
Those are some things that you can't learn, like having the pain of making that wrong decision, having the pain of, investing in the wrong thing. You got to make sure that you're making the right decisions, day in and day out. Sometimes you're going to make some wrong decisions. You're going to learn from them. But if you...
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Winners Club podcast. Today, I brought on a special guest, none other than my boy, Steven Mandac. And he's owner of Clutch Moving, one of the biggest and best moving companies in the Bay Area. And he's a high-valued man. So I wanted to bring him on to just ask him some deep questions because you've heard enough from me. Now it's time to learn and earn with my boy, Steven Mandac. So, Steven, welcome to the show.
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And so here at the Winners Club podcast, you know what the rule is. Even when we don't win, we learn. And learning is a form of winning. My name is Brian Tran, your host. I got my co-host here, PJ Padua.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
And so with that being said, let's go right into it. Steven, give him like a little elevator pitch of who you are and what you do, man.
Yeah, so what we are, we're a moving company. We offer moving services, residential, commercial. We also do warehousing, staging, and also storage. So that's pretty much what we do, and we service the whole Bay Area. And we also now starting serving the whole nation.
Love it, man.
Damn.
Dude.
And he's expanding quick, guys. He's actually starting to buy up businesses, take over businesses. And I want to talk about that because I've always been a very big advocate of buy rather than build, right? Because there's problems with both, and he's done both, right? So let's go right into it. I want to talk about the business, and I actually want to ask some more personal things. But business-wise, Clutch Moving, how did that start, and did you build it or did you buy it?
Yeah, with Clutch Moving Company, I would say that I built it. I took over in 2019 from a previous business partner, but the company barely was doing any revenue. And I built that company basically from the ground up, from employees to the trucks, through the whole infrastructure. And it did take some time and a lot of lessons, but what I learned from that after I went ahead and built that business was that I wouldn't say that I never, but I would rather, if I have the opportunity, I would acquire a business that already has cash flow and is already profitable. Like bigger companies like Amazon and things like that, they're acquiring businesses. They're not starting other businesses from scratch.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like we talk about this because it's like sometimes when you buy a franchise or you buy a business, there is a startup cost. It's like you got to buy it for like $100,000, $200,000 or whatever. It's based on the EBITDA, right? But it's like if you were to start it yourself, you end up spending that money anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how much have you invested into Clutch to learn, to fail, to make all the mistakes? Like, that's probably
at least $500,000, honestly.
And you could have bought a moving company.
I could have bought a moving company that is already cash flowing. It already had the processes and everything like that in place. So it's like, why would I want to go ahead and start all over and, start from the bottom? Because at the end of the day, when I'm going to start all over, I'm going to pay for the lease. I'm going to pay for new trucks. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to have to get employees, run through employees. Why not just get into something that's already cash flowing, has systems, has clients that's already acquired, already has, some type of business that's coming in, then starting brand new, so that's my perspective on doing that. And the main thing is that when I come in, I buy the business, and then if there's enough profit to basically pay off of the, the debt service, from like seller financing or something like that, why not do that? And then come in, enter in my processes and the things that I do, my marketing, and streamline everything, and then I'll just make the money right then and there.
So let me ask you this, because by starting your own, you do learn so much, right?
You do.
But do you think that you would have learned less if you had bought an existing business, or do you think the learning curve would have been faster?
You could look at it both ways, I would say that it just depends on when you come into the business. Say, like, if I would have came into the business and the person that I purchased the business from was teaching me, the ins and outs of the business, because when I did start the business, the moving company, I didn't know jack shit about the moving industry. And I came in and I thought that, hey, let me do this, let me try this. And then I finally got a mentor. But I feel like if you would have came into the business and acquired the business, and that person that was selling the business was to stay on and train you for 2 to 4 months, you would kind of understand certain do's and don'ts of the business versus just starting off brand new and fresh.
Yeah. And making all the mistakes.
Yeah.
But but the thing is, though, I would agree that I'm very grateful that I did start the business on my own and learn things from, the very bottom, because those are some things that you can't learn, like having the pain of making that wrong decision, having the pain of, investing in the wrong thing. It's like, fuck that. I'm never doing that shit ever again because it hurts so bad.
Yeah. But let me ask, like, ultimately, do you regret like building it from the ground up opposed to buying your own for the first time?
You know what? I don't. I definitely don't regret it, because I've learned so many lessons just from starting the business. And I could, I'm pretty sure every entrepreneur can say the same thing, right? They built a business. It was their baby from the very beginning, and it was something that they just wanted to invest in, they're pretty much obsessed with.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, I could say, I think that regardless, like, even if you did start it, like there's no way to guarantee that there was going to be a mentor or a person who was going to teach you the business if you bought it. So that would have been a hurdle already. So you would have had to find your own mentor, and beginning for your first business, you wouldn't even know to do that, So I think building it from the ground up and going through every single problem possible, I personally believe that is the best. But for the second round go, you probably learned enough that you're like, all right, I'm never going to do that again.
And I can honestly say that I've spoken to a lot of people that are at very high levels doing, 10, 15, 20, $30 million in the moving industry. And, everybody has their own different perspective. I spoke to one of my buddies that, he's franchising. I spoke to another buddy that, he's acquiring businesses. But I mean, everybody has a different path, and everybody has different things that they want to do. Some people want to start off fresh. Some people want to start off franchises. Some people can come in and turn a business around, and they have the energy to do that. It just depends on what path is good for you. So I don't think there's essentially a right or wrong answer. It just depends on what path you want to go through.
Yeah, I think that. And I think that is true about the past. I think also, in addition, like, there's also levels too.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're operating like still like your second or your next business, and you're still building it ground up, like, you're still operating at level 1. There is like level 2, level 3, and higher scales, like up the round. So,
and I do gotta say, so before I made any decision to open up another location or want to acquire a location, I had the opportunity to do so, years back when I first started. But I needed to set a strong foundation, put the right people in play, and then do the right systems and processes. I mean, right now we're building out all the processes and the SOPs to be able to fundamentally have the same exact process at the new location. And it takes time, effort, and energy. And what you come to find out is that, like, oh, wow, it's totally different from what my other manager thinks it is.
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure everything is streamlined, so everything is the same exact thing. Because what we're going to do is, at the 2 locations, we have a call center with all the VAs, and they're basically going to be managing, both the locations, and all the calls are going to go straight to the call center. And then from there, the 2 locations are going to be managing or doing the moves itself.
Yeah.
Wow. Question for you, because this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with, is like they try to grow very fast, very quickly. How did you, what was the thought process behind it? Like, you could have grown very quickly.
I did grow very quickly.
Yeah.
I grew very, very quickly. We started the business, and I took over in 2019, and then coming into COVID, everything just boomed.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, like I went from maybe like doing like maybe $1 million to like 2.4 million within a year.
Yeah.
And there was so much growth within that time frame. Did I think that we're going to grow that fast? No. It just came, and everything was just going. And I guess the answer to that question, as far as growing too fast, I would say slow down a little bit, but in that moment in time, you can't really say slow down, because things are just go, 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 go. And then you don't think it's ever going to stop.
Yeah.
And then what happened to me was I got slapped in the face.
Yeah.
Because I grew way too fast, had zero foundation, didn't have the capital to really, run that type and that size of a business. Didn't have the right employees, because I was hiring people left, right, and hiring from places I shouldn't have been hiring, and hiring the wrong people. And it was just, and then once things started to slow down, I got slapped in the fucking face, and I just too much overhead, too much expenses, too much everything, and I can probably, a lot of people probably can agree, you know, the people that are listening to this podcast, that, you know, even realtors, so many other businesses just grew, and then they had to shrink right after. So if you have the opportunity to grow smart and to grow with less risks, that's what I've learned from, you know, the past couple of years, to make sure that I manage my expenses and try to go more organic, because that's a stronger foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing was, because during that whole COVID time, we had the option to like really expand too. But then I've learned, like, be happy with the growth you set out to achieve. Right. I think one of the mentors taught me, like, if you're making 20% growth, that's fine. But then it's because in business, what people don't understand is like especially for yours, you have to take on debt.
Yeah.
You have to buy trucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so even though those trucks are making money, the problem is like, once the business slow down, you're still stuck with the monthly debt on those trucks.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's like, you could have went out and bought 20 trucks, but instead, are you happy with just maybe buying 5?
Yeah.
You know, or 4.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to hit like a home run slam dunk on the your bottom line, basically. Like, he went from 1 million to 2.4.
Yeah.
But maybe like sometimes it's okay just hitting like the 1.5, 1.6.
Yeah.
But when the market pulls back, you're not stuck with all this debt that can drown you.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happened. We had scaled way too fast for the trucks.
Yeah.
And I think we were probably, at one point, like at 15 trucks.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh shit.
15 trucks, $1,000 a month,
Sheesh.
15 grand just on
It's-
trucks.
Yeah.
Then you still have the warehouse space, another 10, 12 grand. Then you
Yeah.
got employees.
Insurance, you got
Insurance.
admin costs,
Yeah.
everything like that. And then I took a look back. I was taking a look at the P&L, and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah.
And at that point, you know, I really wasn't. I was more concerned about servicing the jobs because I thought, like, hey, you know, if I service these jobs and I get these jobs done, then, you know, my bottom line and everything is going to go. Like, so, like.
And it probably was. It probably was during like that month. Like, you know, your debt was, your expense was probably like 50 grand and you were bringing in 150.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what happens is a lot of business owners will forecast and say,
Yeah.
okay,
3x growth
I
from
made
here.
150,000 this month. Next
Yeah.
month I'll make another 150 grand and it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Right.
But what happens is next month you're not hitting the 150. You know, God forbid,
Yeah.
now you're only making 50, but your expenses are 50. Now you're
Yeah.
breaking even, and then the following month it dips down to 35, and now you're losing
Yeah.
15 grand.
Yeah.
And you can quickly give back all the profit that you made during that good month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the slow months are still going to be the slow months.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way around that. Like, the
Ye-
overhead is just going to be high.
Yeah, and I could definitely agree with that. The main thing that I changed from back then to now, so right now we have probably a little bit of a smaller team than we had, you know, those past years, and we're doing double the revenue than we were back then. But what we really did was we really defined the sales process, and we really worked on the sales process. Before, we were paying like fucking $50,000 a month on ads and marketing and
Sheesh.
everything like that.
Yeah.
So now that we you know, redefined the sales process, really worked on the sales process, and really looked at the lifetime value per customer and how can we increase that lifetime value per customer, because the average person moves, you know, 13 times in their lifetime. What audience would I target to have a higher lifetime value?
Yeah.
And what we came to find out was 2 people, which
Yeah.
was interior designers and then realtors.
Yeah.
So once we focused on that, doubled down on that, we're like, okay, now our margins get higher, and, you know, we're getting more business from that one client that we acquired.
Like that,
Change the
man.
audience.
Yeah. Where's most for your business? Where's like most of your marketing? Where do you guys mostly get like your leads from? It's like cold
Yeah.
calls, like ads, online ads. Like, what kind of marketing do you guys do?
Yeah, so the highest return on investment right now is from our marketing campaigns towards realtors and interior designers, and we have a 7-step process that we touch. You know, realtors. I'm sure if you're a realtor, I'm sure you've got our emails and you know our realtor affiliate campaign and everything like that. So that has been, you know, gold for us, really gold for us, and we've just been crushing it, doing a bunch of lunch and learns and doing a lot of things where it's like we're getting in front of realtors. So we are that known company to all the realtors, and they're just referring us business and business and business.
I like that.
Yeah, they give.
Yeah.
They provide. They go in. They provide lunch. They provide gift cards. They
Yeah.
provide referral bonuses.
Some pupusas every now and
So
then.
it makes you want to like, yo. It makes you. It honestly
it's
just
tight.
keeps them top of mind.
No, it's tight. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I just got a email from you guys saying like, oh, hey, like, do you need any moving or something? And I was like, oh shit. Heck
Yeah.
man. I just
Yeah.
remembered again. I was like, oh yeah, clutch.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
those that's why like just even small emails like that really does help the whole experience of you know, acquiring customers.
Yeah. So what's next for Clutch? What's the next big step? I know you just went out on a trip.
Yeah, so we went on a trip, and I am going to acquire another moving business. Now's the time, and now I feel really comfortable that I can, scale and get into the other business. So I'm going to acquire another business. It's going to be in Arizona, in Tucson, and we're going to take that over hopefully by the end of the year. I have a call later on today with a broker to work out some type of deal. It's a seller financing deal. And I've been looking, left and right to find these deals. I've been even reaching out to other moving companies. I have a big network on my Instagram with all the moving companies and just seeing what's out there.
Can you dive into the deal a little bit? Because I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. So the deal is a $195,000 deal. It's a moving company that's been, well, it's not a moving company. It's a niche company that does white glove delivery and warehousing. So what that is, in a nutshell, is that they work closely with interior designers and contractors to do deliveries and store stuff for them. So it's almost in a sense like moving, but it's not. It's more niche. So the deal is $195,000. I found it on Biz Buy Sell.
Love that site.
So I found it on Biz Buy Sell. And I've been looking, I've been looking in Cali, been looking in Arizona, Texas. So Arizona was a really good spot because it's only 2 hours away from the main location. Okay. So I was like a no-brainer. It was like, okay, 2 hours away, I can get in and out if something happens or whatnot. And I found like my manager, he's like, okay, I'll move down there. So I was like, okay, no-brainer. So $195,000 seller financing. They want $75,000 down to basically pay for all the assets. Yeah. But they're workable because the thing is that they're baby boomers. And when I went there on the trip last week, they're basically saying like, hey, when do you want to take this over? We're ready to retire.
Yeah.
They're basically giving away the business almost for free. I know it's $75,000, and for those listening, $75,000 is a good amount of money. But in reality, in the business world, it's not. Like, your car is probably $75,000. You know what I mean? Like, it's people. You have no problem buying a car, but you can't buy a business. Like, this is why I wanted to bring it up. And can you talk about the seller financing deal? So like about 120,000, right? What's the rate on that?
Yeah, so the rates I think is like 6%. So it's going to be 6% for the rate. And we can kind of the great thing about seller financing is that you can structure it however you want to structure it.
Whatever way you want it. So how are you structuring it? So how are you thinking about it?
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have a lower down payment, and then I'm trying to go ahead and have it in a shorter term. Yeah. Because what I want to do is I want to get in there immediately, and once I'm in there immediately, I'm able to add value and basically get more profit to basically pay off that seller financing. So that's the goal that I want to do. So how I'm going to structure it, I'm going to try to put $40,000 down, have low payments the first year, and in the second year have higher payments to balloon, because I'm already going to put value in there, and I'm going to try to get the company, because the company's doing $500,000 right now. If I get the company to do about $1.5 million in revenue, and I'm running a 20% net profit on there, I'm going to be able to pay off the debt service, and I'm going to be able to pay myself back the investment that I went ahead and put in.
Sheesh.
All right, we're gonna get it. We're gonna go a little more detailed, okay? Because this is the real value here.
Yeah.
So, okay, 195. What is the company doing right now in revenue? You said
the company right now is doing about $500,000 in revenue.
And then what is their net profit?
Their net profit right now is $110,000, just net profit.
Sheesh. So look, guys, you put out $75,000 down, which puts your loan, the seller financing deal, at $120,000. You can structure that in, like, honestly, just real simple. He's got a plan, but I'm just if I were to do this deal just real quick, let's say I give him 6%, right? It's $7,200 a year. Divide that by 12. That's 12 months. So literally, you're paying them $600.
Is that for real? That's
nuts.
That's
That's for real.
It.
That's for real.
Okay, so that's the interest. And then you work out a deal. Okay, you borrowed $120,000.
Okay.
And let's just say, hey, I want to pay this off in 5 years.
Yeah.
So divide this by, that's nothing, honestly. So if you were to divide
24 months.
24 months, like, dude, that's $5,000 a month.
We're paying $5,000 a month.
Jesus.
That's if you want to pay them off in 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's say 3 years. It probably goes down to like $3,000 a month.
This is crazy.
4 years, it goes down to $2,500 a month.
Yeah.
$2,500 plus the $600 in interest, right?
Yeah.
$3,100, but $3,100 times 12 is $37,000 a year that you're gonna pay them, right? But the business already brings in $110,000.
Yeah.
So you
Bro,
still
that's-
left with
man.
$72,000.
That's
And check this
crazy.
out. You're left with $72,000. But what did you put down in year one? 75 grand, right? So in 1 year, you basically get your initial investment back.
Yeah.
And you basically kind of break even.
Yeah, man, that's
And then
insane.
year two, the interest your interest portion goes down because now it's 6% of whatever's left on the balance.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now in year two, you start making money. That's assuming you don't do anything to the business.
Right.
You don't actually try to grow it.
Yeah.
You're just taking over a business and leaving the business alone.
Man.
And just letting it run and making that $500,000. You know? That's why the beauty, guys, is in business. I
think
know
so.
I like if you guys go to my TikTok and my Instagram, I talk nothing but real estate. But the reality is, the behind the scenes is, and I told Steven this, I make way more money on my businesses than I do on my real estate. I just talk about real estate because it's like, it's something that I'm passionate about. It's actually something easier for people to get into because business is more moving. There's more variable.
Yeah.
Right? But business is where you make big cash flow. You take the cash flow, you buy real estate.
I mean, realistically, I just
know?
think it's beautiful, and the story is so cool to see and so refreshing.
I get excited.
Most people are, man, that's a house right there. That's a down payment, like on a house. But
But
the
a house,
the house doesn't bring
$75,000
back
down
money
payment,
though.
It's not going to bring back in $70,000.
Exactly, and you can't really scale the house to like $1.5 million a year in profit. So
That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's a no-brainer. And
Yeah.
like, I think last time we spoke about this, Brian, where it's like, some people want to do real estate, but I'm like, dude, I'm a really good fucking operator, and
Yeah.
I can create really good operators. So if I put somebody there, I pay, I'm basically going to scale that. I'm going to make so much profit off of that business in such a short amount of time. Can you do that in real estate? How long does it take to get the investment back in real estate?
No, it takes forever.
yeah.
Well, look, I mean, we're making. I'm
Realistically,
making
what, 10
about
years,
10 to 11% on my money.
Okay.
Okay, but just based on this math, you're making 100% on your money.
Yeah.
Because
That's not even adding value to
that's
it.
not adding value. So
crazy.
business is the way to go. Don't get me wrong. I only preach real estate because the average listener is probably working a job and they don't have time to go and operate a business. But that's what I'm saying. Okay, but don't be dumb and don't go spend all your money. Put it into real estate. But the real winners is your business throws off so much cash flow. You take the cash flow and then you can either invest it back into the business. But what I like to do is take a portion and I start investing it into real estate, offset my taxes, but also then set up my future because 30 years down the line, when everything is paid off, I'll be sitting pretty at like six figures a month. You know what I mean?
That's like the real story right there of how you did it. So
That's huge. Yeah, no, that's super huge. And the ultimate goal is to keep doing this, acquiring businesses, and then see where that kind of takes me. I want to do this like, 5, 6, 7 times and see what I can really scale to it.
Yeah.
It gets me super excited. And, I've been doing so much studying and reading so much books, and it's such a untapped market. I think the thing is that there's about 60% of businesses that are for sale that never sell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
They don't.
Oh wow.
They don't sell because the thing is it's mom and pops, right? Small businesses are mom and pops, and then people don't want to take it over, or they don't want to sell it because there's no systems in there. It only runs with people that have been in the business for so long because they know how everything operates. There's nothing documented on there. I asked this lady, I was like, hey, what do you have to document everything? She said, I'm writing everything on a pen and paper. I said, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, imagine what I can do with automations. Imagine what I could do with emails. Imagine what I could do with a little bit of marketing.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing $500,000?
Yeah.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It's a no-brainer. So I was like, I'm going all in. So I was like,
Damn. Exciting, man.
The cool thing with the business is it already has recurring revenue that's like storage.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he told me that the lease was $8,000,
$8,000.
and then it's already bringing in $15,000 a month in storage.
Yep.
Storage fees. So you're making $7,000 just from that.
That's cool, man.
7,000. So you don't do anything. You make $7,000 just from that.
Yep.
Granted, you probably have to have like a guy working there, but it's Tucson, Arizona. It's not like the Bay Area.
Yeah.
The wages is a lot lower over there. I
The
assume.
wage is lower. The minimum wage is $15 an hour.
Oh,
and,
yeah, come on.
we're paying, if we pay them $20 an hour, the moving industry, you can. The great thing about Arizona is that they don't have a bureau to actually manage all of like the moving side. So in a sense, it's like the Wild West.
Oh.
So you can charge whatever you want to charge. You can do whatever you want to do. And in that market, there's only 3 competitors. There's really only 3 big competitors that I'm worried about. And those competitors have been around like 30 years. But I mean, with the marketing that I have and what I do, they're going to come in, they're going to shit their pants. So,
Damn, I love that, man.
Target the realtors.
Target the realtors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take what works and just double, triple down on it, you know?
Yeah.
It's tight, man. Hey, so business is cool, but I also brought you in because this guy's the man, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
He
before
knows how to live.
let's
dude.
go. But before we do this quick transition, Brian Chan, please thank the sponsors for the show. We'll take a quick break.
Want to give a big shout out to Infinite Appliances in San Jose. Why buy new when you can buy open box? I have been personally using them for years now, making sure that I save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on every single one of my rentals, my flip, because honestly, there's no point in going to Best Buy and buying a brand new fridge. Instead, go buy an open box from Infinite Appliances. Save $1,000. It's brand new, still has manufacturer warranty. So don't be a dummy. Save some money.
Let's go.
And with that being said, back to the show.
All right.
Hey,
All
so
right. Let's
now-
get into it.
Okay, the takeaway from the first part of the podcast is, look, I would say don't start a business, buy a business. Okay, because then now you can guarantee the cash flow. The business is already running. It's already got the systems. It's already got usually the employees and the staffing and a lot of the headaches out of the way.
With someone to mentor you too.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, dude, it's just like going over to that deal that he's buying in Arizona. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I think,
And there are deals like that everywhere. 'Cause
Everywhere.
You're right.
Everywhere.
Baby boomers getting old.
Yeah, and our generation's coming up.
They're kids. I was actually talking to the import-export guy. This guy does like $9 million in revenue.
Yeah.
The freaking kid doesn't want to take over.
Yep.
He wants to be a streamer,
And
streamer.
I asked the dad, I was like, so what are you going to do? Like, your kid currently works for you. He gets paid like a fat-ass salary.
Yeah.
Now, once you sell the business, what is he going to do? He goes, I just got to set aside money for him. I'm like, man, that's
Jeez.
setting your kids up for failure.
Yeah.
But the kid's like 40-something years old now.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
crazy.
want to add, man, like, everything that Steven's talking about, it's amazing. Built one company, scaled it nationwide, and starting another different company, ancillary business, like in a creative way too. Guys, there's so much ways to build a business, get creative, do some research and find something that will be profitable in the next year or 2 years. So don't be lazy, guys. Do your research and let's fucking go.
BizBuySell.com.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
All right. So look, this guy, I want to talk. This is the fun part of the podcast because this is like, Steven parties, man. He makes money and he knows how to spend money, right? But he's not stupid. So the first question is, how are you saving and spending your money? Like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, so
How are
I
you
guess
spending your millions?
so right now, so before when I was younger, I wasn't. I want to say I wasn't the best financially smart with money. If I invested properly, I would have been in a different place by now. But it's good learning lessons, because I used to party a lot. I used to, spend money on chicks and things like that, and just having fun and living life. But now, as I've gotten older, and I really see the value of what money can do for you, I'm just setting money aside to grow the business and acquire more businesses. It's super addictive and it's super fun. And once I get this first deal under my belt, we're just gonna keep putting it in there.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate goal is to first acquire up to like 5 businesses, and then after I do that, get some cash flow and then start investing back into real estate.
Gotcha. So what is like at the moment right now, like how is your budgeting and spending? Like, do you have time or do you put money like for fun stuff right now, or are you just all in like, on the business?
I'm all in on business. Yeah, I'm all in on business. So like mostly everything that I'm making, I'm putting it towards business. Okay. So like saving everything towards business, because the thing is there's so many opportunities that are going to be popping up left and right. So like if I have the capital and if I have the funds for it, I'm just gonna take the risk.
Yeah.
Because I know Steven for a long time. He would spend like $40,000-$50,000 on a party.
How much? How much is the most you spend on a club? How much is the most you spend on a club?
So I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
But went to Arizona. I spent about $45,000 at a club.
Nice.
and we still have the world record. I mean, just the record there. I mean, we popped 120 bottles.
Dude, customer of the year.
So it's the crazy thing is that I had the other friend spent another $45,000.
Oh, shoot.
And I spent $45,000. So we basically spent $90,000 at a club.
Damn.
It's a cool thing to say. Hey,
Yeah.
we fucked up.
Was it fun though?
It was super fun,
All right,
man.
cool.
It was a great time. It was a memory.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It was a memory, and it was just like, dude, it was wild. I came back. I was like, dude, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
But
What made you though? What made you stop dropping 45K at a day club? Like what really moved you to kind of grow from that?
yeah,
phase?
I guess just being around the right crowd and being around the right people, it's like, you guys are investing your money wisely, and like looking at Brian, looking at you guys, and it's like, dude, you guys, you don't do that. You're just, it's hard. You have to have a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
And like the people, my mentors that I look up to, they're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're right. Totally right. Let me mature.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and invest wisely
Yeah.
and save my money and keep my money. Just the thing is that in my younger days, I was around a different lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So around that lifestyle, there's things that you do, and
Yeah.
like to celebrate in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You go out and you party, you pop bottles, and
sure.
there's a lot of women, there's a lot of jewelry and things like that are involved. So like, I had to grow out of that lifestyle, and then really mature into the businessman that I've become now.
Yeah.
So for me, it was basically personal growth and personal development.
Yeah.
And like, to get to that next level,
Yeah.
you essentially have to become a new person.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I'm getting to that next level of, me and really working on my personal development. So I had to get rid of that old Steve.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. I think that's super important. I feel like your values just changed from like
Yeah.
the flex to, again, like the disciplines, right?
Yeah.
Your circles probably grew, right? The people that you looked up to probably a change. So that was kind of like what I'm taking away from it. And hey, man, I'm proud of you, bro.
Well, the main thing is like when I think of somebody spending $45,000, or not even 45,000, but like, 'cause that's probably the record that I've ever heard. But even when you go and spend 10 grand in Vegas,
Yeah.
or 15,000 in Vegas, that's
Yeah.
probably more in line of what people will spend.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, 15,000 is literally like what 15% of the 75 grand
Yeah.
that
Right.
he is gonna put down
Yeah.
to buy this business that will then make 75, 80 grand every
Yeah.
year without doing anything, right? It's like
Yeah.
once you realize that, you start being a little bit more conscious of like, okay, I'm not gonna spend that until way later.
Yeah.
Until
Right.
maybe I have 5 or 6 businesses, and that's throwing off 15 grand a day.
Yeah.
Right.
And then a day's, where 15, because to me, 45,000 is still a good sizable amount to where I'm like, dude, that takes me, X
Yeah.
amount of hours to make.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So I'm like, oh shit, I can't do it.
Well, let me ask, like, out of,
Because let me tell you something.
okay, tell him something, Brian. Tell him something.
You give me $400, I'm gonna show you a good time. I don't need 40,000.
Yeah.
I just need 400,
Right.
and I'm gonna show you a real good time.
Yeah, man.
But the thing is, though, like kind of, piggybacking off of that is that a lot of people are not like, they don't see that. They don't
Yeah.
see the other opportunities to really make money. And it's pretty amazing to me because I've been around, all my friends, they work regular 9 to 5s and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. But like the opportunity to make so much more money
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a game.
It's a game. It's a game, and like I love playing the game, and like I'm gonna keep playing the game. But I try to open the doors for some of my friends and buddies. Like, hey man, like look into this, look
Yeah.
into that, and I'm always that person to give the advice. Like, man, you should look into this. But the opportunities are endless, especially with business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
the
like
club, the girls.
The girls.
Most of the time, it's always the girls. Girls are good and girls are
Girls.
bad. girls all the time. Dude, girls make you spend money, dude.
Yeah, man.
They
But
do.
Right? Because if the club was filled with dudes, he wouldn't have spent 45,000.
Definitely not.
I would never knock that part though, because like, dude, like that's the reason why a lot of people.
makes you feel alive,
But that's
huh?
the reason why a lot of people start like an entrepreneurship journey, right? They're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
flex. They're trying to get all the girls.
So-
like I respect it, but
So-
after a while, maybe not.
Yeah, after a while, maybe not. But
Yeah.
so like I've definitely been through a lot of girls, and I actually put a down payment on a ring.
Oh, swear.
I put a down payment on a
Before
ring.
the business?
No. This was last year.
Oh, what? No way.
This was last year. So I was supposed to
Okay.
get engaged.
Okay.
And it just didn't work out. So this was last year in May. I was supposed to propose in June.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work out. Things didn't fall in line.
Yeah.
And things like that happened.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
So what was it? Like, what what made it not work? Because dating as an entrepreneur is actually pretty hard.
Bro, it's a nightmare.
It's very hard.
It's a nightmare.
And so that's why I wanted to. Can we talk about?
Yeah,
that?
of course. Let's talk about it. Yeah. So no shade to her. I think she was a very, very good girl. Like a very nice, very beautiful girl. It's just that the timing and just the personality. She was definitely an alpha.
Yeah.
And like I'm an alpha too. So
Yeah.
it's like we would bump heads, and like she wanted everything her way. And it was like, I can't give into that. You want this, and this. You want me to. You want to have babies. You want to have this. You want to get a house. You want me to do this. Like, I'm not giving up all my dreams to go ahead and satisfy you. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
So like it's
so hard.
It's so hard. You know, and it was a sacrifice, and there was no like median.
Yeah.
So it was like it was either her way or the highway.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, it's I gotta go the other way. So it was tough.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience. If I could do it a different way, I would definitely do it a different way, because you know, hearts were broken.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
But you can't really do nothing. Looking back at it, it was the best decision for me at the time. Ever since then, the business has grown.
Yeah. For
drastically,
sure, man.
And,
Like that fire a little bit.
The fire, the content, everything like that has grown, and it just made me grow into like a whole different person.
I think some people are gonna listen to this and be like, man, that's why I don't want to do business. That's why, you know, like, I don't want to do it, because I don't want to give up and sacrifice. I want this balance.
Yeah.
But I think what it comes down to ultimately is, what do you want?
Yeah.
And then Steven knows what he wants. Steven
Exactly,
knows
yeah.
I want to build the business.
Yeah.
I don't care about the relationship.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Don't say that.
No.
Bro.
I mean, all right.
He cares.
I agree.
But he cares more about the business than he does the
No, for
relationship.
sure. For sure.
I agree.
And
No,
that's what he wants. And so you cannot knock what somebody wants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has clarity.
I believe that. I mean, the whole thing, like, you know, entrepreneurs dating, the whole thing is like, if you are an entrepreneur, dude, you cannot drop your dreams, your goals for anybody.
Right.
And I think that's like the kind of thin line, because you need a person who's going to be okay. Like, fuck, I just bought a business right now. Like, it's going to suck for 2 years with us, but I'm doing my shit. And like that's the kind of person. So I guess that's like the thin line, you know what I'm saying?
And they say that business, like, it's like going to fucking war every single day. You gotta, you gotta be fucking ruthless.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you need to do in order to win.
Yeah.
You know, with integrity, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But you gotta make sure that you're making the right decisions, you know, day in and day out. Sometimes you're gonna make some wrong decisions. You're gonna learn from them. But if you really want something, and like people tell me like, you know, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I always look at them like, what are you gonna sacrifice to get there? And people are like, I don't want to sacrifice shit. I still want to go buy designer. I still want to go do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you don't want it as bad. So it's like, you know, go like you definitely don't want it. So like your dreams or whatever you want, it doesn't matter more. Your success doesn't matter more than this designer or whatever you're trying to do. So it's like, get out of here.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Amen.
And you know what? What do you say to those who are looking to start something now and they're already in a relationship, and the wife doesn't support them?
I would say go do it. Go do it and prove them wrong, right? Go do it and prove them wrong, and just go move forward. Because the thing is that if you don't do it, if you don't start now, you're just going to always have that doubt in your mind, and it sucks. To have that doubt, and not try to, you know, go after it.
Yeah, not 100%.
I mean, it's rough, because sometimes there's kids involved and there's all that stuff, and so I don't have the best advice for you, but definitely if you want something, sometimes you got to sit down and talk it through what you want in life, and then go for it.
Yeah. So at least it's like said in public, like, hey, like this is my path. Like, don't be surprised when I'm doing it. You know,
the worst thing to, you know, I would say the biggest motivator for me is when I look back on my deathbed, I don't want to have any regrets.
Right.
So that's why when I say I'm gonna do something, I do it.
Yeah.
And nothing's gonna stop me. No one will stop me, because I don't want to have regrets.
Yeah.
And my wife knows that now. See, I got a lucky one. She's like, yo, I gotta do what I gotta do. You want this life? You better let me do what I gotta do. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's actually
So how
very
did you kind of like, you know, my question to you is, was that the ultimate
We
conversation?
fought a lot. We fought a lot, dude. Oh hell, dude, I fought a lot. Like, cause then I wouldn't be home. I would be working. I would be missing a lot of family trips. I miss a lot of family events. I miss birthdays.
Dude.
I miss everything. But I always said, I'm like, look, I'm doing this for me.
Yeah.
And when I do it for me, it ends up happening for us.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why, like, and in the beginning, I had to hammer it in the head.
Yeah.
Like and I had to be super alpha. This is the way. This is the rule. And I mean, thankfully it paid off, because if it didn't, it'd probably be all bad. It probably would end it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably. But,
But it paid off. But then the thing is, I'm not afraid to have the conversation. I'm not afraid to be headstrong and do what I want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Man, that thing's kind of like, oh, that thing
But
stresses me out.
I hear a lot, because I sit down with couples, and then I see the wife or I see the husband basically talk the wife out of doing something, and vice versa.
Right.
And I'm like, that's some bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, your partner is supposed to support you. Not saying they're supposed to encourage every dumb shit you want to do.
Yeah.
But they have to at least be like, the right way to support is they actually question you, say, okay, well, what are some of the strengths? They do a SWOT with you, basically strength, weakness, opportunities, threat, or they'll run through the ideas. Like, I talk to my wife all the time, like, hey, I want to do this. What do you think? And she'll tell me like, won't that conflict here? Won't that conflict there? And then at least you have somebody to talk about it, because when you have somebody to talk about it, then your brain starts to really work.
Yeah.
But you marry somebody, and then you tell them, hey, babe, I'm gonna go start this new company. They're gonna be like, why you can't do that? Like, you're not even capable. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Undip.
And
I'm out.
that's exactly what happened in my last relationship. If I would have told her I was going to acquire a business in Arizona, she would have been like, fuck no.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're gonna have to fly out to Arizona. You're not gonna be with me 24/7, 7 days a week. I don't have to be here 7 days a week.
No, for real.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's like, yo, I would have done it with you or without you. So
Yeah.
what does it really matter if you like try to control like what I'm gonna do?
What's your view on couples that do businesses together?
oh God. Dude,
Oh my God, bro.
I give it to them. They're gangsters.
They are gangsters.
They're
I give it
gangsters.
to them. I think that you have to have a strong mental capacity and fortitude and like just grit and be very compassionate to your partner / your business partner, because I think it gets messy, man. Like
It only works usually when one person is the beta.
kinda.
Has to
Yeah.
be. Somebody
kinda.
has to bow down
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit. Yeah.
I don't know,
They have to
man.
be. They have to be.
Yeah, I think so. Because again, like
Or
you
the
said,
best way is like, okay, you're the alpha of these departments. I'm the
Yeah.
alpha of these departments, and then
Yeah.
that can work. But I don't know. I just can't do it, man.
I don't know. I just think you get too comfortable. Like you have a sense of comfortability with them, so like
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to lash out like tasks
Yeah.
way differently. Like, yo, go clean that fucking bucket. Like, what the fuck? What you
Yeah,
mean clean
yeah,
that
yeah.
bucket? Like, so I don't know. I'm not really. Kudos to everybody, but I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either. Like, it would be very tough to be telling your significant other and
Yeah.
like coming home at night. And
Plus,
it's
you don't
like-
want to talk about that at night. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to talk about your business like at night. You just want to chill. Talk
All
about
day,
everything.
maybe.
but
I mean, that part doesn't concern me. Whether because I mean, I like talking about the business, but I just don't know how. It's just like, dude, you need some time away.
Yeah,
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 that too.
right.
Yeah, that
That
too.
too.
You know?
That too.
that's the main thing.
Respectfully.
So this is my office. This is my sanctuary.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that too.
Man, the next question I have is, so what's next, bro?
Yeah, I want to. Let me ask. I want to
I
ask
wanna
it better.
well,
Yo,
what's next? What's next with your love life?
we going to Arizona?
How's dating for a high valued man right now? Is it hard?
You know what? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's very crazy because I'll put it like this: when you're focused on the actual thing that you're really focused on, you attract. You attract
Yeah, for
more
sure.
people. You attract more women, and it's just like, dude, I wasn't even looking for any of this.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
all of them are just trying to come to you and
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to you and everything like that. And it's just like, dude, like it's different when I was trying to go to them and it's
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
just kind of turning me off. But
Yeah.
now it's just like, I guess they see or sense the energy and everything like
Yeah.
that, so they want to be a part of it.
I
But
think so. I believe that. I think when you put your focus on something else and you're not paying attention to them, they come to you.
they come to you, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, like, okay,
It's like reverse law of attraction.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, you know, I have a girlfriend. She's also a realtor as well too.
Awesome.
So like, yeah, so she's in the business. So it's always good to I chat with her on and off. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's always good to communicate and things like that.
Yeah.
So she has a different perspective on things like that. So it's like, yeah, it's
That's
good.
what you need.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you need.
No, I think so too.
And she lets me go out and get it, and she's a cheerleader and supports, and I support her with everything that she does as well too. So it's like, it's just like you said, she kind of bows down, and she lets me do my thing.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the main thing. It's not even bow down. It's like, I don't even want to say bow down.
Yeah, you
like,
shouldn't-
it's, it's just like, let me do what I need to do. I'm gonna let you do what you need to do, and then when we're together, it's like we're building something together.
You know what that's
You know what
called?
I mean?
It's called being understanding.
Yeah,
Like it's
maybe.
really not that
You
crazy.
know?
you
And
know?
I think as long as the communication is good,
yeah.
and you know how to like, it's just like I always say, like time is not the most important thing together. Like we need to spend 10 hours a day together. That's dumb as hell.
dumb.
I don't think so.
1 hour of quality time is realistically all you need.
Yeah.
Right? Would you rather have 1 hour where I'm attentive, I'm listening, or would you rather have me 10 hours just bullshitting around on my phone?
Dude, straight up.
You know, I'm on my phone a lot too, though, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's okay, though.
but you know, you make sure you got some time.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
just an hour, 2 hours there, and that's really all you need. You know,
I
at the
think
end of
so
the day.
too, man. It's
Yeah.
all about the quality.
What questions you got from PJ?
I don't know, man. I thought we were wrapping it up right now. You want to keep going?
You want to wrap it up
I'm
right
not
now?
saying
when
that.
it's-
That's not
when
what
it's
I'm
at
saying.
the peak?
Dude, we're at
Or
the
should we
peak
bring
right
them
now.
back for a part 2?
That'd be cool. You got any more questions for Steven?
I mean, dude, I think the value was there. I think
I think so too. This is a cool pod.
Yeah.
the money,
lit.
the growing up. We all do dumb shit,
Yeah.
but ultimately, you got to learn from it. You got to grow up, and every 10 years, you have to evolve as a person.
Yeah.
My mentor always said, like, every decade, you usually have to transform yourself.
Yeah.
And so your 20s, you're one way, but
Yep.
you can't you can't be the same person you were in your 20s and your 30s.
Yeah.
And so you got to keep changing, keep evolving. What questions do you guys have? Those listening, comment down below. What do you want to know about
I got a question
Steven?
for you, Brian.
Yeah.
So, like, what's your next thing that you're doing? You know, we spoke about this briefly before. You know, you want to acquire businesses. You got a lot of businesses going on. You got a lot of operators going on. You know, it's how do you manage that day to day? Do you speak to every single person? Do you have meetings? Like, you know, it's kind of. I know that I find myself thinly spread out sometimes because I have to manage every single department, not necessarily the day to day, but just managing managers. So, like, how does that look like for you?
Kind of the same. So then basically now what I look for are the CEOs of the companies.
Yep.
And so that's why you're like, oh, why am I not buying more businesses? I'm not buying more because I don't buy the business. I actually buy into the CEO first, and then I will then find the business that they can run and build. So for example, right now we just launched, we're going deep into flipping and wholesaling and all that stuff. And so I've been doing that, but like very small scale, you know, like one project every other month or something like that. Now we're trying to like really take this business to like a $3 to $5 million revenue. And in order to do that I had to kind of bring in Ray. I had to groom Ray, and that's where he's the CEO of that company. And so that's really taking off, and now it's like with the ads that we're running and everything like that, we're getting a lot more inbound leads, and we're building out the systems and processes for that. And so that's kind of what we've been working on behind the scenes. We've launched property management as well. Mia and Randy are basically the CEOs of those company.
Okay.
And so basically what that allows me to do is I basically just have to talk to the CEOs.
Yeah.
They have to go talk to all the department heads.
Yep.
Right? And that then allows me to free up my time.
Yeah.
So rather than having to talk to, you know, HR, sales team, marketing team, and training team and all that stuff, like I just talk to the main guy.
Yeah.
And then every now and again, if I have time, I'll pop in and check in with all the departments. So most of my time is spent in meetings. So like Mondays at 8 a.m., I'm on my first meeting for the VA Hub. Wednesday at 10 a.m., we have the 50 Hills meeting. And then Wednesday at 10:30, I have a finance meeting with the VA Hub. And then all the rentals and stuff are just kind of spread out throughout the week. Same thing. So
Yeah.
I'm in like more than anything now, I'm in just a shit ton of meetings.
Same. Yeah.
And so it's not like I'm actually selling. I don't actually hop on sales calls or anything like that, but it's just checking in with everybody, making sure that where are we, what do we want to accomplish, and then what did we accomplish since the last meeting. That's it. That's really how I framework the whole freaking meetings.
And just making sure that all the metrics and everything like are hit.
Yeah, so we check
everything.
the KPIs. We have
Yep.
KPIs for every single company. And then I check the profit and loss like every day.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that you always just have to open your bank accounts and just check the accounts.
Yep. I agree. I've had shit where it's like, dude, I've had one time where the credit card processing took like 30, I think it took like 40 grand one time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know until like payroll hit. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
and then I had at least another like 50 grand in receivables.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, oh my God. So
You
it
have
was
to check your accounts every day. Either that, and you get big enough, then you can have a financial controller. But I'm not there yet. I don't want to give up the money aspect of it yet. So I look at all the accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, what's next? I don't know. It's like now that I have enough, we're just trying to go deeper with every single one.
Every business. So
Every business.
double down on the business, right?
Well, yeah, because I already have like 9. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, I can go and have 20, but what's the point of having 20 if each one's only doing like, I don't know, 100 grand net? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's actually, why do that when I can get these 9 to, you know, $3 to $4 million each, you know, and then that way, I don't have to have more staff because I don't want more people.
Right.
Because if I have more people, that means I have to hop on more meetings.
Yeah.
So with the 9 now, just go deeper. And honestly, I kind of want to exit out of some of the smaller ones eventually. Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
Like now they're not hitting that. Like if they don't make 7 figures, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to put your time, effort, and energy. You could put that in something else, right?
It's the same amount of time, same headaches. So it's like focusing on just bigger numbers. And I don't want people to think like, oh, like I don't appreciate the money. But it's like once you've been doing it long enough, you understand that to make $100,000 and to make $1 million is almost the same.
Same, yeah.
It requires the same amount of 24 hours. You know what I mean? And so why spend my 1 or 2 hours on that business to only make $100,000 when I can do it on a business that can make $1 million?
Yep.
You know? And then also the thing with the revenue, and people, it's not like, I don't want to talk about money in a way of like what it can do for me, but actually the bigger the business, the more people it can help. Like for example, you see like my office, like there's a shit ton of people out here, and imagine like if the business is doing 10, 20 million, that means they're making more money. Right. But if the business is only making like $1 million, how much can I honestly pay them?
That's right.
You know? Yeah. And so by making more money, I can change people's lives. Mm-hmm. And I change people's lives by making sure they make a lot of money.
Yeah. And I can actually agree with that as well too, because in the moving industry, I have a quick story that I always like tell people because I always talk about growth in my company. Yeah. And I took a mover who's making $20 an hour. Now this year, I mean that was like 3-4 years ago. Now this year he's gonna make about $110,000 this year. And that's life changing money.
Yeah, from $40,000, 20 an hour.
That's cool.
From $20 an hour is 40,000. Now he's making 6 figures. That's great.
Sheesh.
Yeah. And he's got a lot more growth. He's actually going to be the manager that's going to go to Arizona. So his lifestyle, he tells me, he thanks me, because of what he's able to do now. He's able to do more things. He's able to live on his own. He's got his own place and everything like that. So, yeah, the feeling of looking at the people that you helped and you grew, like that's a really satisfying feeling, because at the end of the day, it's like, man, you guys helped me change my life, and you guys' lives have changed as well too by being loyal and helping us grow this business.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing though with that, okay? Don't pocket watch the owner. Let me tell you something, all right? Because they'd be like, oh, well, the worker made 110. What did the owner make? It don't matter what I made. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter what I made, okay? Because when shit hits the fan, I step up to the plate.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't text you.
Yeah. When problems happen, I get the phone calls.
Yeah.
Yep.
So don't pocket watch the owner, please. And there's a meme that says like the worker comes out and then the owner had just bought a Lamborghini. The worker comes out and he goes, wow, that's a really nice Lamborghini. And the owner goes, thanks. If you work hard and you put in the hours, I'll have another one next year. Fuck that meme.
Really?
Because yes, I will buy the Ferrari, but dude, sometimes it's a combination of multiple companies that got me that Ferrari. Multiple headaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You deserve
That's
it,
the crazy part.
Yeah.
Dude, the other day I just had a fucking worker, or not a worker, a homeless guy come and take a fat dump in front of Rise and Grind.
Fuck.
Guess who had to go pick it up? Not me. But I had to deal with it because I was like, shit, I gotta find somebody to go clean up that mess, because if the pastry guy doesn't see it at night, he's gonna step in it, go into the store, track shit all into the store. You know what I mean? Like, but this happened like at 10 o'clock at night, bro. So like, imagine I have to take up my like everybody else is probably going to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, let me see. Who can I call and pay $150 to? $150 to. Finally got somebody to pay $150 and he cleaned it up. But
just a random person?
Nah, he's a worker.
Okay. I thought you were getting your personal net worth. Nah. Yo, you want to make $150?
The log was like this big. I have a picture. It was like, I'm like, this guy ripped his butthole pooping this thing out. But thank God it was a log and not diarrhea, because that would have been way harder to clean up. Yeah. But yeah, I paid somebody $150 to go pick it up and throw it away. But still, you know what I mean? Like, but before I had to do it, because before I have done it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You had to do it.
Because I didn't have $150 to go pay somebody.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
like back then when that store was starting, $150 was the profit for the day.
Yeah.
And so if I paid somebody $150, I didn't make any money.
Yeah.
You know? And then like I needed that profit to go pay rent.
Yeah.
And so it's like, dude, yeah, you do dumb stuff. So I paid my dues, man.
Yeah, I was gonna just say that.
I've been a janitor. I've been everything, dude. Trust me. So don't pocket watch, all right?
Yeah, that's big. That's
like
super big. But I have the I can honestly say that, with my team, they know how much I put in, how much work I've done. Super transparent with everything.
Yeah.
Everybody, as far as ops managers and everything like that, and what we talk about in our meetings, they know how much we're making. But the thing is, though, is that everyone is compensated fairly. Our KPIs and our metrics are based off of let's hit this volume, let's hit this goal, and you guys get 2-3%.
Yeah.
So they know exactly what's going on, what they need to hit in order to make that money. So it's transparent all across the board. It's not like I'm a fucking, I'm making $100 million or something like that. I'm paying them shit. So, it's transparent at the end of the day.
That's the key. I think being transparent and letting them know, dude, this is what I made. I tell people all the time, I'm like, you want to see how much I made on this deal?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But let me show you the real numbers. So the other day I was telling somebody, I was like, okay, I made $100-some thousand on this flip.
Yeah.
But I said, but do you want to know what comes in every single month? This office cost me $5.
Yeah.
Okay. The ads cost me $6.
Yeah.
So I'm already at $11,000.
Yeah.
And so basically that one flip covered the year. But let's say that flip wasn't successful, I'm still out that $11,000 just on the overhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's overhead that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Whether I make money on the flip or I make money on X, Y, and Z, I still I'm on the hook $11,000 every month.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so if you want to go and do what I do, go spend the money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, be happy with what I'm paying you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have to make a profit.
Yeah.
You have to.
You know?
And I always tell my employees, hey, man, I'm going to give you this opportunity to grow, make some money and everything like that. It's on you if you want to take it and you want to follow my direction. So the mover that I was telling the story about, he followed the direction. He followed everything I said to him. I coached him. I groomed him. And, he's going to be making a lot of money. And he's going to be living in Arizona making the same, maybe more the salary.
Rent's going to be less for sure.
Everything's going to be less. Dude.
Super
to
less.
live up there.
And he's going to be living a good life. And that's not even where he's going to stop. He's just going to keep growing and leveling up. So I think it's good.
Well, I appreciate you jumping on the podcast, Steven. Well, how can they follow you? What's your Instagram?
_ Mr. Clutch. Mr. Clutch on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. You guys can find me there. Hit me a follow. Learn more about the moving industry. I also do offer consulting on there. If you want to get into the moving industry, hit my line.
Love it, man.
Let's go.
All right. See everybody next time. See you later. Peace.
Very good.